Now let's look at this one
Sitting in a normal car.
Now, just to the title of this, oh my goodness. Okay, let's get into this.
Sitting in a normal car, and I watched a woman crash. She pulled out a jump.
Dude is already starting the video out like with an L, but okay.
Turned, and somehow, I can't even explain to you how ridiculous this was. She came up, she pulled out of a junction, turned to turn right, and instead of just turning right, she did some kind of U-turn back into traffic and crashed.
Well, okay, that's interesting. Why would you do that?
It didn't make any human sense. I can't explain it to you in a way that makes sense. I know you're sitting there thinking, no, that can't be right. No, that's literally what she did.
No, yes. I actually believe you when it comes to this interaction.
Going this way, the traffic stopped. She comes out, instead of just turning right and going on her way, she comes and just crashes into this car.
I don't know why you would do that. And
I sat there and I thought, how are women allowed to drive?
What? What is wrong? What is wrong with this dude? This guy is crazy. What? How is the correlation? Like, you know how dumb it is? Like the logic that he used to even get to that point. He sees one woman turn and crash in a very stupid way, and he's like, that woman was being very stupid as she drove. Why are women allowed to drive? like what? I don't know. I think that this is way too like anecdotal. You can't just look at like one instance and be like, why are they allowed to drive? Okay, it's like, you know, you have an uncle who like gets into credit card debt and has to like go into bankruptcy, and then you're like, how are uncles allowed to have credit cards? like the logic just does not follow. It does not make sense. But it's
how.
And the thing is, the kinds of people who are sort of like the Andrew Tate stans aren't really going to be that discerning when it comes to the things he says. They're not going to be like listening to his preachings on these subjects with a critical eye.
A man is good enough at driving to know he's not a good driver, but
what? So you're saying that men would not crash in the same way that women do? Well, hold on, let me see here. Severe accidents tend to occur more with men than women. Females have a higher chance of being injured or killed in crashes that are equally severe. Now that's interesting, and I'll get to that in a second, though this narrows with age. From 1975 to 2019, male crash deaths were more than double female crash deaths. Well, that's interesting. Well, okay, so there are a couple things to this. Firstly, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that more men drive than women. So there are more male drivers than women. So that explains why more men are getting injured. Let's see, why they're getting injured. However, one thing that's interesting too is that just men are more likely to be in severe accidents. You know, that's literally what this is saying. So I wonder if this is more powerful than Andrew Tate's, you know, omniscient knowledge on whether or not women are good or drivers or not, or whether or not women should be banned from driving. Like, when you look at the facts, you know, men are more dangerous drivers than women, just based on the facts. So I think that rules out the fact that this dude saw a woman make a stupid U-turn and crash to another vehicle one time. But that's just me.
But women are such bad drivers, they genuinely think they're okay drivers. It's remarkable.
So what is any of this based on except for this one interaction that he had?
If you're truly at something, you can't even tell you're crap, right? If you're completely deaf.
Yes, Andrew Tate, this is correct.
You don't know you're bad at piano because you're an idiot. Women can't drive, none of them. I've never met a woman who can actually drive competently. They all just make mistakes, do stupid they're not supposed to do.
Also, one note: if you're looking at the video here, in the corner it says Tate Playboy, as if like being like a Playboy is like a good and like, bro, the channel is actually called. This is sad. This is sad. As if being a Playboy is like a good and honorable thing. Like, it's insane.
Way too close. They could never get out of the way of. And then when something happens, it's always, well, it wasn't actually my fault. Ask every woman you've ever met if you had a crash. Yeah, but it wasn't my fault. Well, of course.
Okay, what about men though? What about men? What dude is gonna be in a car crash and be like, oh yeah, that crash I was in, that was my fault, man. That was my fault. Yeah. Like, no.
How many have I had? None. So, it was your fault. Stupid.
Terrible take.